Oh, it says
Okay, actually,
it's
no,
started.
it's starting. It's starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Skype's been like acting weird today.
Yeah, it looks like it's recording now.
Gotcha. Hi guys, today we're going to be interviewing 2020's MMA Coach of the Year, Tyson Chartier. Tyson, how's it going today?
Not bad. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for the time as always. How did you spend your Father's Day with your family?
Has it been Father's Day already? I think it's
Yeah,
next.
I think it
Is it
was
next
like
weekend?
a couple days ago.
I don't. I think it's next weekend, but I honestly don't know. If it was last weekend, we didn't celebrate it. If it's next weekend, I don't even know it's next weekend. But I'm sure it'll just be hanging out with the kids and and the wife. So nothing too crazy.
Gotcha. Do you have like any summer plans planned out? Like any vacations, like any plans sorted out for the summer?
No, we're talking. We're doing a seminar down in Tampa. Me, Rob, and Calvin in July. So we'll make a weekend of that, and then we're talking about doing a kind of like a vacation slash training trip in Texas, maybe end of July or
Ooh,
early August. So we don't know. It's just tough because, depending on when these guys get fights or don't get fights, it's hard to travel. So um, as of now, that's it. But stranger things have happened. We could pop in a vacation last minute if something changes.
got it. Where in Texas are you guys gonna go?
Calvin's sister lives in like New Braunfels, which
Oh
is
yeah, I know where that is.
okay, yeah. So he just was out there last week, and then his buddy, his sister's husband has a friend that has like a big house out there that we can rent for the week or something. So we are talking about doing that. It hasn't all materialized yet, but it's in the planning stages. So hopefully that happens and we can get some fun.
Awesome. Yeah, Texas is a place to be, honestly. And I want to talk about The Ultimate Fighter. Did you catch the episode from Tuesday?
Yeah, I did. It was exciting seeing Mitch and Cameron, two guys that I work with on the show, and I think it's gonna be a cool season.
hmm And I wanted to touch up on Ortega's coaching style. I don't know if you heard the quote, but he was like trying to explain coaching, where it's like it's kind of like a pizza. Some coaches like put the pizza down your throat. Some coaches cut it up into slices. What do you think about his comparison to how coaching is?
That was a good analogy because I think if MMA, it's like, another analogy is like drinking from a fire hose. If you just shove it all in, they'll drown. You got to give them a little sip. So you can't expect someone to be able to eat that whole pizza on the first day, so to speak. So you got to take off little bites and let them absorb some of it. And then that's probably the best way to get through the whole pizza, I guess. But yeah, no, I thought it was a good analogy.
Got it. And I know we're still one episode in, but seeing the coaches and their coaching styles, I'm not sure if you could like pick apart how they work just yet. But is there like a certain team that you lean towards in terms of like how similar your coaching style is to theirs?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's still a lot to be seen. I think
hmm
going into it, I was thinking that, maybe Volkanovski's team, like if I was an athlete, maybe that was a better team to be on just because they've been together longer. I know Brian just kind of redid his team, put some new pieces around him. So they're probably still trying to figure it out. Obviously, he looked really good in that last fight. But I think based on kind of, the banter and stuff like that, I think, we're more like Volkanovski's team, I think, a little bit. We got to when we were out in Vegas for Rob's fight, we got to sit with them at the PI a little bit and talk to them, and they're a good group of guys, and they're all funny, they're all joking around and stuff like that. So I think I would have done well, with that type of environment, or I think their style of coaching probably is very similar to kind of what we do.
hmm And I saw like right after the Rob fight, and congrats on his performance and the team's help on that. But you put out the Ultimate Fighter 30. You made a pitch where to have the New England Cartel go against whoever wins between Corey Sandhagen and T.J. Dillashaw. Can you tell me a little bit more about your thought process leading into that tweet?
So sorry, can you see me?
Uh,
Sorry.
yeah, not right now, but
Yeah, I'm okay.
I think I'll
Sorry,
probably pick
I
it
got my
up.
phone on do not disturb, but it
Oh,
still
okay,
rang.
now I can see you.
Okay, so yeah, Rob's just in a really weird spot right now where it's like the title fight's not going to happen until the end of the year at the earliest. And then the number two guy's fighting a former champ ahead of us. So maybe they get a title shot ahead of us. It was just, there's going to be a lot of like sitting around and waiting if, potentially. And, if we want to keep the division going and stay busy and develop a true number one contender, then I think the winner of us versus the winner of that fight makes a lot of sense if they're gonna not fight until like next spring. So you might as well get some action in there. If it's gonna be delayed, that fight, us, and the winner of, if we fought like, let's say Corey or TJ, maybe we fight next winter or whatever. I don't know when the recording's happening, but and then we would fight the winner. The winner of that fight fights the winner of Jan and Sterling. It makes great sense for us, but it might not make sense for the winner of Corey and TJ. They might think that they're already in the number one contender fight. So, and maybe they are, ultimately that's for the UFC to decide. But it was just an idea of a way to stay busy and make it kind of worth it for both sides to take one more fight before a title fight, is kind of put that, that experience in front of them. And I think TJ has been through it before, so he might not like it, but maybe Corey would. So who knows? It was just something out there, just to, kind of toss it out there rather than sit around and wait. Maybe something like that would be fun for Rob, a good experience. Good for the team, and get Rob, a true number one contender fight. But it has to make sense for a lot of people, and there's a lot of moving parts. So it was just kind of throwing it out there. But realistically, I don't think it happens. But just kind of throwing a hat in the ring for it.
Yeah, for sure. And who wouldn't love to see the Cartel, be in the Ultimate Fighter uniforms? That would definitely be awesome.
It would be fun. I think it's basically, I saw the Volkanovski team out there and they were having fun, following them on Instagram and, just living in the house for 5 weeks, playing jokes on each other and, bonding as a team. And that's a good experience for any team, I think. And I also think that, we have a lot to offer young fighters or potential prospects that are coming into the UFC. So I think it'd be a good experience for us as a team, but I think it would be a good experience for any of the fighters that, got to train with the, with the Cartel and under us. And, we'd all learn a lot.
Mm-hmm. And, if Rob does fight the winner of Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw, like, who do you have winning that fight?
I think Corey probably has the edge just because, you hear these stories about when they used to train together and, who knows if it's true or not, but I've heard from multiple people that I trust that Corey kind of got the better of those sessions back in the day. And then on top of that, it's, TJ never really lost his belt. So he's probably thinking I should be able to come back and fight for a belt right away. So he's probably annoyed that he even has to take this fight. And that's never good for a fighter. If you're fighting a fight that you probably didn't even want, and it's against a guy that used to beat you up in the training room, and then add the whole coming back from a long layoff. I think he's 37 now, coming back from a long layoff. Who knows how he'll react to whether the ring rust is real or not, or, just being a couple years older, 37, 35, that's a big difference. And then on top of that, it's, he did pop his last fight. I don't know. We can all speculate whether or not he was cheating his whole career or not. But we do know he did cheat his last fight. He admitted to it he owned it like a man. And he did cheat his last fight, but now he has to go into this fight knowing he is 2 years older, coming off a long layoff, and isn't cheating. So there's, I just think the cards are stacked against him and in favor of Sandhagen. So I'm going with Sandhagen on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if TJ wins. I don't think he's washed up or anything like that. I think he's one of the best that's ever done it in the bantamweight division. But I just think based on like all the variables and all the factors, it's hard to pick against Sandhagen right now.
Yeah, for sure. Then I want to talk about another former UFC champion. Obviously, Rob Font just defeated him, Cody Garbrandt. I believe Rob said in an interview with Low Kick MMA that he should be going down to 125. Do you think that's the right move for him?
I don't know if Rob said like he should go down to 125. I think he was more saying like I think he would have success if he went down.
Got it.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a revival. Like right now, who would he fight next? At 135, he's lost 3 out of 4. He's still so dangerous though, and he's still so skilled, and I still think he hasn't reached his potential yet. I think he's still like figuring things out. Anytime you go through your first couple losses in a career, it can do something to your confidence, and then then you come back, and then you have a layoff, and you had the COVID, you had all those setbacks, and then you come back in a fight against Rob, where I think when the fight was originally announced, a lot of people gave Corey a big advantage, and then to go out and it's not like he got clipped. I mean, he got, it was he just got, I don't want to say schooled because it's like, he was in the fight the whole time, but like, and I don't want to say he got outclassed, but Rob dictated the whole fight. It was a very
For sure.
one-sided affair. And those fights are hard to come back from too, but I think he's got, kind of that warrior mentality. I think he'll be fine. But at 35, I think it's a bigger uphill battle. Who's around him? He already fought Munoz, he fought us. It's like, who would he go? Like, how far down does he go? Like, I mean, Aldo and Munoz are already booked. It's like, so kind of, maybe him and Cruz fight again. That's kind of got a good storyline. But I think if he went down to 25, he goes and gets one win, and he's probably getting another title fight. So I think I don't think it would be the worst move if he can do it healthy. Cutting the weight and stuff like that. From what we understand, is he walks 10 to 15 pounds lighter than Rob does. So if Rob can, and it's not like he's way leaner than Rob. If you look at him, he said it in the past, he can make 25. So if he can make 25 safely, I think that's probably the shortest path to a title shot, I do think he could win some fights down there.
Got it. And, to any person that's not an MMA fan who doesn't know who the New England Cartel is, their first impression would be like, oh, they're a gang. So in this question, I have to ask, if I'm going to ask you for Rob, Jake, and Calvin, and you. So, like, if you guys had to get arrested for anything, what would it be? So, like, my first question is, if Rob had to get arrested for something, what would it be?
Oh, probably like sleeping in the car on the side of the road. Probably be, being a hazard. Like that kid can sleep anywhere. He'll fall asleep before a plane takes off and wake up when it lands. It's like we all get so jealous. We were on Fight Island, and I think he slept in. We had like 4 different rooms. He slept in every single room. He slept in the hallway. The kid would just go around from room to room to room and just take little cat naps, but then be up at 4 a.m. Shadow boxing and lifting weights. So the kid can sleep anywhere. So if Rob was to ever get arrested, it would probably be for like sleeping in the middle of the highway with the car, the hazards on or something like that. I can picture that. But yeah, I mean, these guys don't really break rules, so it'd be something stupid,
What about Calvin?
Calvin, I don't know, man. Probably. Yeah, so they don't do anything wrong. I mean, maybe gets in like yells at someone that they, one thing you don't want to do to Calvin is talk about his family. So if someone said the wrong thing to his family, and he was there, he might lose his temper a little bit. He doesn't have a temper, but what I mean. He'll, like I say, you don't mess with Calvin's family because then maybe he'll have to do something to get arrested.
Yeah, don't like. It reminds me of the Michael Chiesa quote, like, "Hey, don't talk about my mom." Don't talk about my mom.
No, you don't talk about Calvin's family.
Got it. What about Jake?
Jake, oh man, he's like a big animal guy. Like he loves dogs. I could picture him like punching someone if he saw him like abusing a dog or something like that, and then him getting arrested for like assault or something like that. None of these are going to be like
a noble crime.
Proactive
a noble crime.
Yeah, Jake Dake's a noble criminal. So that's how I think.
And lastly, what about yourself?
Me? Oof. I don't know. Probably something stupid like
loitering or something like that.
Yeah, just something dumb. Like, maybe I yelled at another dad at like one of my kids' soccer games or something like that. Like if I thought he was being obnoxious, and then all of a sudden they feel threatened because they're like, oh, he coaches UFC fighters, stupid stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really good. I knock on wood. I mean, I've never been arrested. I've got one ticket in my life. I don't do anything wrong. But yeah, maybe something like that, or maybe arguing with someone if they're being mean to my kids. But yeah, that's probably it.
Is there like any like misconceptions when you talk about the New England Cartel like out in public? Like, do people think like, oh gosh, they're criminals? Like, is there any misconceptions like that sometimes when you're out like in public?
No, not really. Like, it's interesting because we're starting to get recognized a little bit. Like, I was in the mall the other day and someone came up to me and like, oh, you guys are the Cartel, and like you Tyson, and that was the first time getting recognized locally. So I think a lot of people kind of know what it is, but like people just see Cartel, they don't really ask the question. If they think we're game, they're probably not going to approach us about it. But yeah, no, it's we're getting a lot of positive feedback for the name. People, other coaches saying, "Dude, that's a pretty cool name. I wish we would have thought something like that." And family and friends, they all like it. But then you have those trolls that are like, "Oh, you shouldn't affiliate with the cartel. That's a bad thing." And it's
All
obviously
the
all in good
snowflakes.
fun. And yeah, it's all in good fun. And I think it's catchy. People seem to like it. It resonates with people, and it's kind of it's just different. It's not the norm. We're not like Team Punisher or anything like that. So I think it kind of fits our personality. We don't take this too serious. We're able to joke and call ourselves a cartel. So it's like I think it kind of fits.
Hmm. And was there like any other names in the running?
No, like for a while we just tried to keep no name because we kind of split off. We started doing our own thing. We were training at a bunch of different gyms, and we had kind of bounced the idea around like what would we call ourselves, and then Rob just kind of threw out, well, let's just go New England MMA right now, and then we kind of did that, but we were never really marketing it or anything like that, and then all of a sudden it was after the Lamas fight, Rob came up with the idea. He's like, I think we should be called the New England Cartel, and it kind of felt the time, the right time to kind of put a name on this, and then obviously, fast forward a couple of years and, we formalized it and, we've been able to monetize it and had some good success. And I think it's been pretty cool how it's kind of blown up a little bit.
Hmm. And I noticed that Calvin Kattar, he was called out by Giga Chikadze a couple of weeks ago after his win over Cub Swanson. What did you make of that?
I thought it was he shot, but he also called out Max Holloway too in the same thing. So it's kind of a weird call out. Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to fight Calvin, why would he say Max too? It was kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, he's ranked number 10. I think he's like 6 wins in the UFC, but he hasn't really beat anybody. I don't even think Cub was ranked at the time, so he's yet to beat a ranked guy, but somehow he's ranked 10. I mean, he's got to shoot a shot. He's got to try to do what's best for his career. I don't necessarily think it made sense because we're not available. I think generally you got to try to do a little bit of research before you do a call out, find out who's available and what the timeline is and stuff like that. Because last thing you want to do is a missed opportunity. He is 6-0 in the UFC. He had a big stage. He just knocked out. He dropped Cub Swanson with a body shot, and that was a big opportunity for him to, because I got a lot of media texting me after. They're like, "Why would Calvin's not even like available?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. But he's got to shoot a shot, and I think there's other guys that were like, that were not booked that are around him that I think probably made more sense. But he's got him and his coaching staff and his management team around him, advising him what to do, and they have to do what they think is best for them. And we have to do what we think is best for us. But yeah, not Rob. Calvin's not even. We're not even booking Calvin right now. So I don't. Maybe it was just a clout call. I don't know because we're not even. We've said from day one we're not doing any contact for 6 months, and then, we'd be ready to go in, probably October. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna hate on him for doing his thing. He's obviously had some success. He's got 6 wins in the UFC, which is very hard to do, and we'll see what happens with that. Once Calvin's ready to book, we'll think about who's available and what we're gonna do and what the UFC wants to do. But we're not even at that point yet. So it was kind of just we saw it and like, oh, cool, here we go, and then that was it. I would love to see him and Barbosa fight. I think that would be a pretty fun fight, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
We'd probably just take each other down the whole time. But
yeah, what do you think about Barbosa's last finish against Burgos? Obviously, Calvin's finished Burgos before in devastating fashion as well. What do you think about the late reaction knockout?
yeah, I really like Burgos a lot. Like he's nothing but class. Even after we fought him, in the lobby after the fight. We're huge fans of him. Calvin is too. I like him. I like his team. I always cheer for him. We shared, the cage for 10+ minutes with him, and we're big fans. And it was weird. It was like I kept like wanting to come back, and then all of a sudden the knockout, and then also it was a delayed knockout, something I've never really seen before.
Yeah, that was wicked.
It was wild, man. Like I hope he's doing all right now, and I know I think he's got a little daughter now, maybe, or maybe he's got a young child. So, I hope he's doing okay. But we always cheer for him, and that was a wild one, man. That guy goes out on his shield, and he's never in a boring fight. If he wins, it's exciting. If he loses, it's exciting. So like, props to him. And I'm just, I'm all, hopefully he takes, the time off that he needs and then comes back and gets another knockout.
Mm-hmm. And featherweight's just as stacked as bantamweight. So, like, obviously, Calvin and Rob are neighbors in that sense. Which division do you think is more stacked than the other?
Whew. I mean, I think right now you got to go with like probably featherweight, just because you got the champion Volkanovski, Max Holloway, probably one of the best to ever do it. He's a Hall of Famer, regardless of what happens next. Ortega's got some juice right now with, that zombie, return after the zombie fight. Yeah, years coming back. Then you got the Korean Zombie fighting Dan Ige. Like these are all like prospects who I think have yet to like hit their potential. Even Max, he's like 29 now. So it's like, it's a young division. It's full of killers on the way up. You get guys like Josh Emmett, number 6, Arnold Allen I think he's on a 6-fight win streak. And then Dan Ige, he lost like 1 fight in the UFC? He's like 8-1 or something. Then you get Edson Barboza and Giga behind them. But then you look at bantamweight and it's like, that's like the OG division, You got,
yeah.
Yes, because you got
like 6 former champions in there.
Yeah, you got Sterling there. You got Petr Yan is right there. Those are arguably the 2 champs, and then Sandhagen like a hot prospect, Rob a hot prospect, and then you got champ Jose Aldo, Hall of Famer, Cody Garbrandt, former champ, Marlon Moraes, a champ from PFL who's a scary dude, Frankie Edgar, former champ, Pedro Munoz knocked out Cody Garbrandt, and I thought he won the Frankie Edgar fight, and then you get Dominic Cruz at number 9, who's arguably one of the best bantamweights to ever do it. So it's like when you have Dominic Cruz sitting there at number 9, and then guys like Rafael Santos and Jimmy Rivera and Merab Dvalishvili not even cracking the top 9, like that's a pretty deep division with some big names. So I think I think the future of the featherweight division is probably brighter, but I think right now the star power is in the bantamweight division. But they're both, I think they're the 2 best divisions. Because I think you look at some of the other divisions, they get some big names, but it's like the depth isn't there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely think they're a little bit more stacked than lightweight. Usually lightweight's kind of like the marquee where it's like that's where all the action is, but the lower weight classes, the bantamweight, featherweight, they're just amazing right now.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a fun time to be a bantamweight or featherweight.
Awesome, man. It's definitely been a fun interview. I think that's all the questions I had. I just want to thank you again for the time. Is there anything that you want to say before we close this one out?
No, we're good, man. We're excited to see what's next for Rob and Cal for the young guys on the team. And anybody wants any Cartel swag, it's newenglandcartel.com. And, we get the link on the Instagrams, any Cartel MMA or Tyson_Chartier, or check us out. The link's in our bios. And, we appreciate the support. We appreciate you doing this and having me on.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely got to send you a MMA Island fanny pack for sure.
There you go. Let's do it. I wear it.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyson. Appreciate it.
Yeah.